Hey, I'm D. Grant Smith, the relationship growth farmer. Let me tell you a story of a business manager named Sally, who has an issue that you might recognize and possibly even have yourself. This is also a pickup from where we left off last time on the previous video, where we talked about people pleasing and the big tell. Here's the thing. Sally is a really hard worker. She shows up every day on time. She does a lot of things that are outside of her job description. She takes care of multiple roles, including admin and accounting and marketing and customer service, customer relations, even product delivery. And there is, interestingly enough, there's actually people on her team that it's their job to do all of those roles, but for some reason, she finds herself doing them. Or maybe she inserts herself into doing a lot of them. Because in her mind, Sally does not think that she's a control freak like many of her employees might feel. She doesn't feel like she has to have things only done her way. It might seem like that to other people, but in her mind, she's operating in a different capacity. You see, in her eyes, she wants to do all of this because she wants to be in service to everyone except herself. She wants to be irreplaceable, except her motives and her motivations are not what actually makes for a strong team dynamic and a true team player. She works kind of like a self-employed person does, which might look good on the outside to her higher ups and bosses, who she seems to be this go-getter, hardworking, never say die person. But actually, this is really crippling to her staff and her team because it seems to them like they are not trusted to do their jobs. And while things might seem kosher on the outside, her staff doesn't appreciate what seems to be an undermining of their work by their boss. It seems to her staff that she is a micromanager and someone who is never satisfied with anyone else's work. Yes, Sally is a manager and a boss over some people, but there are also people that she has to answer to. And because she's such a hard worker, her bosses keep asking more and more and more of her. She's that one person that the bigwigs rely on to get things done. Yet to Sally, her bosses never seem to recognize her at all or appreciate her hard work. They don't tell her that she's done a good job about anything. So Sally feels unappreciated, taken advantage of, and used. On top of all of these little trimmers inside this scenario, here's the secret. Sally's burned out, and she's on the verge of a serious mental and physical health breakdown. Plus, her team is imploding from the inside. Do you know or work with somebody like Sally? Or here's a better question. Are you Sally? It's okay. I used to be Sally too. Back years ago when I ran a radio station, I did about 3 or 4 other people's jobs, and I tried to be irreplaceable. And I also felt completely overlooked by higher management, and I burned out pretty hard. In the previous video, like I mentioned a second ago, I shared a little bit about people-pleasing patterns. That's what Sally has. Remember, though, that there's a more serious issue here than just people-pleasing, and it's actually the cause of so much pain in Sally's life, relationships, and career. Have you been able to identify it? The real problem is a belief in being unworthy. It's this unworthiness and lack of self-love that is actually causing Sally to spiral out of control and ruining her professional life, let alone also causing problems in her personal life. So what's the solution? The way out is through a different way of thinking and behaving. That way is illustrated fully in my book, Be Solid, How to Go Through Hell and Come Out Whole, as well as the training courses and coaching available at my website, dgrantsmith.com. I'll link specific courses and resources below so that you can jump in right now and begin the process of overcoming this debilitating issue. Yes, manifesting itself as people-pleasing, but also getting down into the heart and the root issue, which is a belief in unworthiness and a belief in not being good enough. If you're pulling a Sally in your life and career, go get these resources right now and turn your life around. I believe in you. I'll have more videos about this coming up in the future.